What do you dislike the most about Reddit? Everyone thinks they're so damn smart. Also pro tip, hundreds of doctors and lawyers aren't browsing Reddit every hour of the day to give free advice. Quit being so gullible. Constant reposts. When people say so much this, onion cutting ninjas, talking about their feels, or any other stupid effing overused phrase, I really hate it. The unoriginal comment replies that get to K karma. Putting a lot of effort into a thoughtful response and just having it sit there unacknowledged. People shitting on others' opinions because they might not align with their own. Honestly, this is just something I see a lot on social media in general. Super into video games, and every time I see someone say they like a controversial video game they almost always get S on. At the end of the day, these people are just a minority, but very vocal minority. Spending money on awards. Some people on this site seriously value imaginary internet points too much. Also, thanks for the awards, kind stranger. Happy cake day. Right now, the meme culture. Goddamn be effing original for a change. You mean posting Bernie N mittens all over the effing place isn't cool? r/hater. Everyone there thinks they know what they are talking about. Some of them do, but the majority don't. There was a good discussion by real lawyers about r/legal advice recently. They said they couldn't be heard in there because amateurs were getting upvoted over them, and that must have the mods of police, not lawyers. So the views on what's legal is a bit skewed. The hive mind. The core problem of any large public board, the people who have the most free time to write content and upvote content, are the young and or stupid. Therefore, even with Reddit's fairly effective filtering and promotion of good content, it still gets overwhelmed with bad content and advice. If you ever hear people talk about how small sub-communities are better, it is because the filter of how hard they are to find causes the average quality of the voting populace to be high enough that good content consistently rises and bad content consistently falls. TL. Doctor, the average Redditor is a child or an adult who is not profitably committed to their own life and job. Consider this before taking Reddit's advice on anything. Power tripping mods. I firmly believe that if you get banned from a subreddit, you should be given a simple explanation as to why you were banned. Even just a "you were banned because this comment broke rule 1. I'm on the books Reddit a lot, and if you think a Reddit repeats questions, you haven't seen anything. What's the most fucked up book you ever read? Something something Stephen King. Something something 1984. And there aren't nearly as many posts as there are here, so that could be the entire day of things to see. Yeah, I've been involved with various communities over the years, and it always surprises me how bad people are at searching for something, or even reading the sidebar. You'll get daily questions about the most basic S almost everywhere. Redditors that suddenly become experts in every field. Example, r/relationship_advice. People seem so hateful on the platform. The age factor. I'd say many are under 30 with a lot even younger. I'm nearing 60 and this place sometimes make me wonder about the future. But every now and then there are some spectacular posts. That it is not a place for discussion. Comment against the narrative for that sub and it will just get downvoted. Would rather see a two-way conversation than the comment just being hidden. Imagine joining a cooking club. Now, imagine they ask you to cook some kind of dessert, and you start pointing out how unhealthy the dessert is, and how much better it would be if you cooked something else. People may ignore you at first, but likely if you don't stop complaining, you would be kicked out. That's kinda how I think of subreddits. There are some where discussion is allowed, and maybe even encouraged, but most of them just want to do their thing without bothering with understanding other points of view. The superiority complex. Just because you use Reddit doesn't make you better than a person who uses any other form of social media. People have this fantasy that Reddit is still viewed primarily as a forum for tech nerds by the outside world. That Reddit is like 15 years out of date. At least 5 years ago, Reddit was primarily known for the place where pervs and pedophiles are allowed to hang out, and now it's known for the place where incels and Donald Trump conspiracy theorists are allowed to hang out. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. but the superiority that people feel about hanging out on a website mostly known for its worst participants is kind of amazing. Reposts or rehashes of the same content. Oh, that's a cool article. Maybe there's some insightful conversation in the comments. Top 100 comments. Duh, I'm a meme comedian. Everyone instantly thought of the same joke as me, but I'm going to comment it again anyway. 1. 4K upvotes 20 awards. Seeing the same posts multiple times. Bonus irritation if the quality of the photo or capture degrades each time. The circle jerk. If you don't think Keanu Reeves is wholesome, 100 boom, 200 downvotes. You don't like Danny DeVito? I'll send you death threats and 1000 downvotes. Political garbage being spewed on every page. Came here to say this, then say it. Don't just kinda W off someone else. The superiority complex of users. People downvoting simply because the comment already has downvotes. You get downvoted for asking for tech help in the correct subreddit. Subs that only let certain people to comment. I was subbed to r/witches's the patriarchy since I joined Reddit almost 2 years ago. I noticed the other day they had switched to coven members only for popular posts. I could still comment since I had been there so long, but I still unsubbed. I don't really know why it bugs me so much, but it does. Also feel like subs that do it should not be allowed to make the front page. Doggo. Human. Zoomies. Goodest boy. Enough with the cringe 2014 dog phrases. Edits. Why the need to point out you corrected a spelling mistake? Plus all the people who get super excited when they get upvotes and awards. It's not like it's the Grammys. That I've been here so long I don't know how to leave. The snarky smug responses you get from users shitposting on your opinions sometimes. Oh, and the fact that they can't handle what they dish out when you respond in kind. Double standards. The hatred towards religious people that is prevalent in many subs. I have seen comments on posts on news and science subreddits that border on suggesting genocide towards some religious groups, and they get a lot of upvotes. Rude and passive aggressive people. For no effing reason. Also, people responding to serious/sad comments with memes or jokes. That if 2 people downvote your comment, then it would be downvoted by 100 more, simply because of the negative point. People will downvote a comment simply because it already has negative votes. The same thing I like about it, the people on Reddit, you either wind up meeting some of the smartest, friendliest people, or you wind up meeting some of the most disgruntled and dense individuals who go into attack mode and start bombing you because you disagree with their opinion. When you think you post a well thought out answer to someone who needs advice on here, and it doesn't even get acknowledged. The undeserved intellectual elitism. Reddit is really good about pointing at the boomers and saying how dumb they are for constantly believing the fake news on Facebook. Yet Reddit is constantly terrible about basing their belief/outrage from intentionally manipulative news headlines without doing the tiniest bit of research. All of the politics. You go to sports or TV subs and even those have plenty of politics in them. Auto moderators. Reddit is one of the internet's largest facilitators of misinformation, and the admins will only take action when something receives considerable media coverage. The fact that they discriminate people for literally any factor other than race and then act like not being racist is an accomplishment. The Star Wars fan base shitting on sequel fans. The general consensus against having kids. It's my feeling anyway. Kids are expansive. I won't be able to travel. I won't be able to sleep. Reddit seems to only focus on the bad aspects and over-exaggerate those. Kids are basically described as expansive pets. I have rarely known, if never, people not happy having kids. That's such a fantastic thing. Fully on board with this one. I'm never going to have kids myself, and it's nice to find support on here. But people go way too far way too often. The amount of control your crotch fruit comments/posts is incredibly disappointing. People be procreating and that's awesome cause it's a huge life altering responsibility and I admire the hell out them for it. But then Redditors vilify anyone who isn't child free the same way they vilify anyone who spends a dime on their wedding. Just because someone else's actions don't align with someone's personal life plans doesn't mean they're inherently wrong. But people here tend to forget that. Not just Reddit, but everyone is so touchy, more so on the morals thing everywhere now. The internet is now some moral high ground hangout and my god people, there's a fine line. Just because someone is deliberately posting something to get a reaction from others doesn't make it something genuinely cringy or horrible. You do by getting triggered by it, idiot. Fine lines. The amount of anti-feminism or nice guys on Reddit is way too high. Negative downvotes about explaining my religion, Christianity. Admin censorship and enforcing one way of thinking on subs. That casually bringing up liberal politics absolutely everywhere is fine, but conservatives and non-liberals who do the same get shouted down. Or they keep their political opinions to themselves out of courtesy or so as not to derail the sub. Allowing one ideology to take over, I'm sure I'll get immediately pegged as a right-winger. So for the record, it also annoys me when conservatives act as if their opinions give them special superiority. That smug happiness I get when I get hundreds or thousands of upvotes on a post. It's all fake and meaningless. I shouldn't care. Caring means I have a potentially destructive relationship with this website. But it's so nice to see people agree with my opinions or like my jokes. Some of the people on here are absolutely crazy. They have such extremist beliefs and don't care to see anyone else's path. They often use the arguments for something as their arguments against something. It's mind-boggling how hypocritical these people are.